The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. Yeah. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
All right, my beautiful people, man. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the new Black Wall Street as we present to you guys the Money and Power Show. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, because I realize everybody don't want to be rich. Everybody don't want to be wealthy. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. Well, you can find that book by simply going to the website www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. It's available in English in audiobook and also soft copy, and it's available in French in audiobook and ebook as well, or something like that. Ebook and soft copy in English, ebook and audiobook in French. Man, go to the website theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your copy today. You'll find that link in the description above or below, okay? Today's episode has been brought to you by ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, which specializes in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art-inspired gifts. Of course, we've done some modifications to our store to be able to make sure that we stay current with the times, and we help you play defense because we must protect this house. And so you can pick up your PPE, guys. We just added the Black Mama CBD gummies, just added those as well. Got face covers, you got face masks, you got hand sanitizer, you got, we just added the wet wipes to be available as well, replacement filters. I mean, the list goes, latex gloves, the list goes on and on and on. Make sure you go ahead and check us out at www.theblackbazaar.com. www.theblackbazaar.com to make sure that you protect yourself. And guys, here at the ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, we want you guys to remember this, that once you shop Black, you never go back. That's right, man. Once you shop Black, you never go back, man. And I want to shout out to our sponsor here today, which is Big Sis Media. That's right, Big Sis Media. Shout out to Big Sis for helping us to make our dream come true with the show today. Man, go ahead and fit in the bill. So we're going to pay homage to our advertiser, Big Sis Media, another Black woman-owned company, which is a full-service creative design agency. And Big Sis Media Group is a full-service creative design agency with tools available to help clients communicate with audiences through visual and digital media. They're there to watch over your most critical creative needs like a Big Sis would. Now, of course, here are some of the things that Big Sis Media does for you guys. They got graphic design, web design, video production, branding strategy, audio production, photography as well. Big Sis Media, Black woman-owned company, here to watch over your most creative needs like a Big Sis would. Check them out at www.bigsismediagroup.com, www.bigsismediagroup.com. All right, beautiful people, man, time to get this show on the road. Your boy is here and ready to rock, ready to go. Let's see who's here with us here this morning, man. Who woke up early to catch the worm? Who's up early? Let's see who's here. Gigi King, Queen Gigi is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Good morning to you guys. Hit the like button and share button if you care. Like button and share button if you care. If you're your brother's keeper, you're your sister's keeper, you might need to tag somebody, something like that. And then also let us know where you're connecting from. What city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country. We are broadcast across the World Wide Web, and so we could be being viewed anywhere. And we just like to know just how far our reach is. Of course, we're broadcasting from studios here, our virtual studios right here in Decatur, Georgia. That's right. I said it right. Decatur. Where is greater, man? Decatur, where is greater? Love to know where you're connected from this morning as you have shown up to be a part of our show today. Good morning to you. Queen Glenda's in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining. Queen Vivian out of Brooklyn, always showing up. Good morning to you. Queen Adrian. Queen Adrian's in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us today, man. My main man, Thomas Freeman. Thanks so much for joining us out of Louisville, Kentucky. Y'all know what it is, man. Float like a butterfly. Sting like a beam. Homer Muhammad Ali is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining. Queen Silky Black is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. King Setley, good morning to you, brother. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. Big Sis Media, that's right. Queen Phyllis is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us, man. We got King Mountain, North Carolina, North Kakalaki, joining us here today, man. That's what I'm talking about. Massachusetts is represented, man. Good morning to you, Queen Golden Girls is in the house. Queen Jackie, that's my godmother, by the way. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. Now, here's the deal, guys. We have finished the book, all right? We finished. I didn't realize it had a lot of pages at the end. We finished that book yesterday, which was African American Inventions That Changed the World. So I decided we might as well continue in my favorite book, which talks about money. That's right, man. The richest man in Babylon. Now, this book is the book that I recommend the most. Of course, I say the greatest financial book ever written is the Bible. Many people don't want to read 700 pages. Okay, well, here is a book that is roughly about 200 pages, easy read. And if you just get the book and read it, and you get your children to read it, you don't have to worry about what someone else isn't teaching your kids, because this has some of the greatest financial lessons, and it's only a $10 book. And I tell people, man, you're not willing to invest $10 to learn about money. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know how you're going to be helped. Okay. So anyway, we're going to continue along reading in The Richest Man in Babylon. We started this, I think, Monday, and we'll just keep going along here. So let's get our little read in. That's right, man. Readers are leaders. By the way, the billionaires, number one thing they say they do, they read. So guess what we're going to do right now? We're going to read. That's what we're going to do. Okay. All right. So if you guys remember, this is a story about a brother named Arcad, who was the richest man in Babylon. And he had some friends that came around and said, hey, we went to the same school. We had the same teachers. I mean, so you just don't seem to be any more qualified than us. Then how the heck you get rich and we not? And he said we're going to try to help them understand. So we started telling them the story. And he said, hey, man, it's good to have money. Okay, that's where we are. He said, wealth is power. Everybody putting down, so wealth is power. Wealth is power. He said, with wealth, many things are possible. One may ornament the home with the richest furnishings. One may sail the distant seas. One may feast on the delicacies of far lands. One may buy the ornaments of the gold worker and the stone polisher. One may even build mighty temples for the gods. One may do all these things and many others in which there is a delight for the senses and gratification for the soul. And he said, when I realized this, when I realized that wealth is power, I decided, everybody put in console, decide. I decided for myself that I would claim my share of the good things of life. I would not be one of those who stand afar off, enviously watching everybody else get rich. I would not be content to clothe myself in the cheapest raiment that looked respectable. I would not be satisfied with the lot of the poor man. On the contrary, I will make myself a guest at this banquet of good things. Being, as you know, the son of a humble merchant, one of a large family with no hope of an inheritance, and not being endowed, as you have so frankly said, with superior powers of wisdom, I decided that if I was to achieve what I desire, time and study would be required. Everybody put in console, time and study. Time is, he said, man, I saw what I wanted. I made a decision. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going after. I'm going to go after getting rich. And I realized that it wasn't going to come from my daddy and them, mama and them, grandma and them, none of them. So I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to get this done myself. And he said, well, I realized that if I was going to do this, I was going to have to commit my time to study. That is what will be required. And guess what, guys? In 2020, that is still what's required. Time and study. As for time, all men have it in abundance. You each of you have let slip by sufficient time to have made yourselves rich. Yet you admit you have nothing to show except for good families of which you can be justly proud. As for study, did not our wise teacher teach us that learning was of two kinds? The one kind being the things we learned and knew, the other being the training that taught us how to find out what we did not know. Therefore, did I decide to find out how one might accumulate wealth. And when I had found out, to make this my task and do it well. doing it and doing it and doing it well, doing it and doing it and doing it well. For is it not wise that we should enjoy while we dwell in the brightness of the sunshine? For sorrows enough shall descend upon us when we depart, for the darkness of the world of spirit. I found enjoyment as a scribe in the hall of the records, and long hours each day I labored upon the clay tablets. Week after week and month after month I labored. I worked hard. Yet my earnings I had not to show. Food and clothing and penance to the gods and other things of which I could remember not what absorbed all my earnings. But my determination did not leave me. But my determination did not leave me. And I'm going to stop right there. He said, man, I'm going to go back to the beginning. I was working hard. I work hard for the money. So hard for the money. But I was still broke. That's what he said. He just said, I worked hard, but I was still broke, or just over broke, as we might say today. But my determination did not leave me. Everybody put in the comments, I'm determined. I'm determined. That could be for whatever you want, right? He wanted to get rich. He was determined to get rich. I don't know what you're determined to do. Some of us are determined to do good stuff. Some of us are determined to do bad stuff. But I do know this, that whatever direction in which you go, you're probably going to reach it. Okay? You're probably going to reach it if you are determined. That's right, man. Wealth is power. Wealth is power. Wealth is power. Decide. That's right. Decide. Wealth is power. Decide. Right? Decide. Now, just imagine this for a second. And I'm going to bring my guest in because he probably got something to say about what we read right now. Because we start talking about, just imagine if your kids grow up with the philosophy that wealth is power. I mean, just imagine if and in their mind, they understand, they grasp this concept, 3 words, that wealth is power. Time and study, time and study, time and study, right? Don't worry, be happy. That's what I'm talking about. Determined, 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 determined. So let me introduce you guys, man. My brother, man, this brother here, he some things he probably doesn't know, but he was actually one of my, he wasn't the first customer, but he was one of the first real dudes from the hood who saw something I was doing and said, man, I'm going to support this brother. And I found out that I think we went to the same school, and we wasn't too far from each other. And so he was determined to buy black. And he was determined for him and his family to support somebody in the community from which it was his philosophy, his ideology, and all that stuff. And so we've been kind of kicking it ever since. And he's into a lot of different things. He's a serialpreneur as well. So I think he has some type of respect for the things I was trying to do. And boom, bam. And then we just kept moving forward. But I want to bring you guys into a new place today. That place is going to be called DAP's World. Everybody putting down so DAP, like not dab, but DAP with a P. We're going to bring you into DAP's World. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. DAP's World. All right, let me introduce you guys to my brother, my friend, who's here with us here today on the Money and Power Show. Good morning to you, King. How you doing, man? I'm doing all right, man.
Great rising, everyone. Yo, man, I'm doing excellent, brother. Excellent. You got me up at the crack of dawn. Well, I ain't been up this early since I don't know how long. So I got to get my coffee in. So but it feels good, man.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for showing us here today on the Money and Power Show. Of course, I know you, but our audience may not. And so if you could take a moment to just introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do, why you do what you do, and why the heck we should listen to you.
Oh, man. Well, I'm a father and I'm a husband, first and foremost. I love my community. Like my brother Evan was saying, man, I do believe in supporting Black business. I am a Black business owner. I own multiple businesses. As a matter of fact, my wife and I, between the two of us, I think we have about 5 or 6 different businesses. So we're serious about, making sure that we're elevating our community, elevating our wealth status, and just progressing forward. The companies that I have is DAP's World, Creative Studios, which is a full-scale production company that focuses on branding and marketing for our clients. We do everything from logo design, web design to commercials and corporate training videos, that kind of thing. I also have my wife and I, we have a real estate company. So we wholesale properties. So we've been doing that for, time goes by so fast, man. I think it's been about 5 years that we've been wholesaling, which has been really good for us. So, and if you're not familiar with that, that's just getting properties off market and then selling those contracts, flipping those contracts to investors who are interested in rehabbing those properties or creating a buy and hold type of thing. So, yeah, man, we get into it. So, just in a nutshell, that's what we do.
Absolutely, man. Let's see if I can do this. We're actually going to be kind of talking about serial entrepreneurship, because when we brought you on, I said, man, what do you want to talk about? He said, man, I do so many different things. So I said, well, let's just dive into Dap's world today. Let's just dive and let's find out who this brother is and how we can support and do business with you and all that good stuff as well. And so you mentioned the creative design agency. So I'm gonna pull this up and just talk to us a little bit about what you do here with Dap's World Studios. I believe that's what it's called, Dap's World Studios. Yeah,
so with Dap's World Creative Studios, we take clients from the beginning. We do brand consulting. So if you have a small business or a medium-sized business, or you have a business concept, but you don't know what your message is, you don't know who your audience is, we walk you through the steps of crafting your message so that you can directly impact the audience, your ideal client. So we consult you through that. Everything that we design is designed around that message, so you have maximum impact whenever someone touches one of your assets. When I say assets, I mean whether it's a social media post or a promotional that's going out, a flyer, business card, your website, whatever that is. When people touch that, they need to feel you and understand what your message is just through the visual. Before they even read anything, people are moved immediately by what they see before they read anything about you. So we want to make sure that your visuals emphasize that. So what you're looking at right now, that's my website, which is super simple. And that's where the world is going to these days, these really simple landing page type websites. And I know a lot of people have, a lot of different information that they want to share with people, but you want to keep things simple and concise. You want your messages to be concise. So, yeah, man, that's essentially what we do. And whatever the client needs as an end product. Like we just shot a commercial we just released a commercial for a client who he's a barber in Atlanta, a celebrity barber. And he's like, I want more celebrity clients. And so I want a commercial, but I need something that's going to elevate my brand so that I can attract celebrities. And so we took the time and we came up with a concept for him. It's an elevated aesthetic. It's really nice. We wanted to capture like a classic barbershop type of feel, and kind of emphasize the importance of that, in our culture. And so we've gotten a really good response behind that commercial, man. And so that's the kind of stuff that we do for our clients. We elevate your brand. That's our whole thing. Level up with Dap's World Creative Studios. So yeah,
and I'm glad you bring this up as well. So as it relates to that leveling up, and you used a couple of different things. You said, hey, being simple with your messaging, or being simple with your visuals and concise with your messaging. Talk to us a little bit about why branding is so important and where some people may be missing it as it relates to really effectively having an effective brand that can be top of mind.
So I think what people miss the mark with branding is it's in the messaging. I find that with most of my clients, there's not a clear message. We all have wonderful ideas, and we may even have a wonderful product or service, that can make life easier for people, right? But we may not always know how to communicate that in a way that attracts our ideal client. So messaging is two-part. What are you selling? And then who are you talking to? And then you craft something around what those people who you're talking to, what those people respond to the most. And it has to be simple and it has to be quick. One, because there's so many people out here, so many businesses out here vying for attention, right? And you look at the word brand, and we know where that comes from. People brand cattle, right? So that's a physical brand. You take a hot piece of iron and you just slap it on the back of that cow, and every other rancher know that cow belongs to you. So branding, in a sense, is what corporations are doing in order to stamp their logo or their message onto the minds of consumers. So what are you doing to burn your message into the mind of consumers? So it has to be simple. It can't be a whole complicated type of thing. So people miss the mark with messaging. So that's the most important thing. Just how can we clear that up? How can we make it more concise? So you look at Coca-Cola, and you can see their entire history in their logo. So it's Coca-Cola, and then at the bottom of it it's like classic Coca-Cola, right? And that's all that's there. Classic will tell you that they've been around for a long time. Just that it says classic means that they know what they're doing. They've been around for a long time. That's an impact. Coca-Cola, you know that it's a drink. You know where it comes from. You know that it has a worldwide impact. Like, you see those things when you look at their logo. When you look at anything that they put out there, they make sure that message is very clear. So you want to do that for your own business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would say not just your own business, but your own movement. It may just be some social impact, or it may be some new idea that you're just doing for your community. It's still, branding is still very, very vital, even if it's not necessarily a quote unquote business that you're running as well. And so that, man, is you said earlier, you said, you didn't really, you just now, accepting this title of serial entrepreneurship, right? So you're just not accepting it. It's so hard because there's no box that you really fit in, because when you have an idea and you decide, hey, this is something you want to work on, you have the freedom to go work on it. And if you want to turn it into a business, you do. So talk to us about this concept of serial entrepreneurship, because when I hear serial entrepreneurship, I hear multiple streams of income. That's what I hear.
Yeah, it's so interesting, man. That's not something I have a problem with labels. I always have. I don't fit into boxes. I don't fit into labels. I'm a creative, and so I thrust myself into whatever inspires me, but I thrust my full self into it so that I can get maximum results in return. I don't have time to waste. I have a family. I have a 13-year-old son that's eating up everything in the house. I have a wife, and there are things that I need, that I want to accomplish. I don't have a whole lot of time to just be dibbling and dabbling and having hobbies. And I think there's a misconception with people. Well, I don't know. I guess it's different for different people, right? There's this idea that you need to focus your attention on one thing until that thing becomes manifest. And I do believe that. However, I do believe that if you're living a life of abundance, we all have been sent here with multiple talents, multiple skills. Well, at least I can speak for myself. I know that I have. And so for me to kind of stifle some of those things simply because everybody else is telling me I should, I can't live my life like that. And I've never really classified myself as a serial entrepreneur. I see these things that inspire me. I know these things are things that I can do. And then I just thrust my whole self in it. And it just happens to be a lot of different things. I think the best way to describe me and what I do is a storyteller. I'm good at crafting stories and crafting these messages for my clients. And so that's what I go for. And we're just really touching on two things, which is, well, earlier we talked about real estate, and now we're talking about, Daps World Creative Studios, which, is a brand agency. But I'm also a writer. I'm a filmmaker. I'm, I'm an actor. So it's like there's all these things that I do, but essentially it kind of boils down to just being a really good storyteller.
So, all right. So let's go back. So you got obviously the brand agency, and you and your wife have gotten into real estate that you've been on for 5 years, and then you just brought up film, which would be directing, acting, writing, right? So talk to us a little bit about something that you directed. Tell us something of your a role that you played that you're most proud of as far as acting, and then what's your most I don't know, some published work that you have, if you write it, I don't know if it's published work or it's a skit or whatever the case may be.
Okay. Well, yeah, man. So I've directed several things. I have 3 short films that are out that I've written, produced, and directed. I haven't won any awards for those, but I have won awards for my acting. I think the role that I think was most impactful to me was I played Dr. King in a play called The Mountaintop. This was last year, and I won an award for that role at Marietta's Theater in the Square for Best Actor. So that was probably the most impactful role, just discovering Dr. King, in a new, more human and grounded light. That was transformative for me. So I did win an award for a web series that I did out in LA Web Film. LA Web Fest. That was a couple of years ago for a web series that I did. So yeah, man, I'm out here, brother. I'm out here. Actually, we're about to do a reading next week for an August Wilson play. I don't know how many theater heads we got out there, but August Wilson is one of the most prominent and successful African-American playwrights. Actually, he's one of the best playwrights in American theater. August Wilson, he's written a series of plays, but the one that we're reading is Jitney. So we're taking that to Zoom next week. So we're inviting everybody to join in with us on Zoom to hear that reading of Jitney, which is about a business owner. Ironically enough, back in 1977, it's about a brother who owns a Jitney station. If you don't know what that is, that's a car service. Back then, they weren't really letting Black men own taxi services. And so we had to come up with our own system. And that was the Jitney service, where people, brothers drove their own cars and picked up people in the community and took them to and fro. And so it's about a brother who actually owns one of those in 1977. So it's a powerful play. I hope I see some of you guys there. So yeah, man, that's just, like I said, those are some of the things that I've done. A short film that I've written, produced, and directed. We're about to launch that probably in the fall. It's called Life Support. It's about a family, 2 brothers and a sister who are dealing with their father being on life support, and what they're going to do about it, how they're going to handle it, if they're going to take him off or not. So very powerful piece. But yeah, I mean, I stay active, man. These are things that give me life, and I think that's important.
Absolutely, man. And what I'm hearing, I'm hearing serial entrepreneur, but I'm hearing Renaissance, man. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing Renaissance all up and through your blood, man. Let me ask you this, because you mentioned, you just said y'all are going to be doing this on Zoom. So talk to us about, and I guess this is I guess y'all will be reading and then playing out in these 4, 5, 6 different boxes or something. I'm not sure, but talk to us about the impact of the pandemic and these different spaces that you find yourself in, and the adjustment to the new normal, I guess is what we can say.
It's interesting, man. And it's interesting that you say adjustment, right? So I feel like we have power to determine what our narrative is going to be. And of course, I would say something like that because I'm a storyteller, right? Narrative. We determine what that narrative is going to be, even if there are circumstances outside of our control. And so now we have this thing that's going on in a whole, that's affecting the whole world. How are you going to navigate that? So I had the idea to do Jitney online because all the theaters were closing. And there are people out there that love theater that aren't able to enjoy something like that. I chose this particular piece because they're going through a similar situation. There's a shift happening in 1977 Pittsburgh. They're experiencing some gentrification. And so these are people who are forced to have to shift in an environment that they're not familiar with. So, but I wanted to make sure that we were still giving people something that was inspiring, something moving through theater. So Zoom there are 9 characters, and so there'd be 9 different boxes, right? And then someone reading all the actions. And so it's innovative. Like, this is something I've never done before. I've never produced a show online. And so it's very, very different. So essentially we're reading, to the audience in character. And so people will be able to kind of see us as we read. So it's not a lot of actions, you won't see people walking across a stage and that kind of thing. So it puts a lot of a lot of attention goes into the dialogue.
Right.
So
that's actually pretty dope, man. Everybody put in the comments below, you got something special. Everybody put in the comments below, you got something special. So that's actually pretty dope, man. Like, just visualizing the concept of what you're saying, and then eventually go to a whole nother level. But you know what I'm saying, just to start or something, you literally could be or are the forefront for a new normal. That, here's what I tell people, as it relates to money and power, right, or anything, right? You want to be at the front of the bus. Right? You don't want to, it's okay if you're in the back of the bus, you get the crumbs, you still are on the bus. You definitely want to be on the bus, but it's best to be in the front of the bus because you're driving the bus. And so for something like this to occur, and then for you to pivot and adjust, and then basically be the evolution for your industry to say, hey, here's what we're gonna do. You got something special here. I want you to bang this thing out. As a matter of fact, you got people in the comments like, man, okay, I Jitney and all that. How do I watch? So where, if we want people to watch, how the heck can they find this? When are you doing it? And when can we watch? Make sure you give me the information. I'll put it out because I want to see how y'all get down. I want to see if y'all really can act when y'all ain't got to act, but y'all got to act.
Oh man, well, I'll follow me on Instagram at Dabs World Studios, and you'll see the information come up as far as like when, what time, and how you can log on to Zoom, so you can see what we do. So that's on the IG. On Facebook is Dabs World. It's just Dabs World on Facebook, and I'll have that information there as well.
Let me come back. We got to go next level with this. It's got to be something more than that. So what? Do you know when you're doing it yet? Okay, you do know when you're doing it yet. Okay.
Yeah.
So
we're doing it next Friday.
Okay. So
yeah.
can we create some type of maybe Eventbrite link or something onto your website where people can go register? You grab information, and then now you can follow up via email and stuff like that, as well as if they go to Instagram or Facebook, because you really want to have people take action, and sometimes that's the easiest course of action for people to take.
Oh yeah, definitely. Eventbrite link is not set up yet. So but that will be set up. You'll be able to register there. And I'll make sure I send that out to you, Evan, if you want to share that with your people. So yeah, man, that's it. So here's the thing, man. We have to decide what our narrative is going to be. And so the reason why I'm pushing so hard now for online, like for us to do business and take some of our creativity online, is because that is the shift. There are a lot of businesses out here who are, they have storefronts, they're brick and mortar, and they might have a website, but it's so inefficient and it's so outdated that they can't do business online. So I feel like my new mission has been to assist people in transferring their business and in converting their business model to one that supports online, enterprise, online, e-commerce, that whole thing. So, that's just, but you have to decide that that's going to be your narrative. And I feel like we really don't even have a choice at this point. So yeah, man, everything is a push for how we're going to do this virtually, how we're going to streamline these systems on the internet. And that's theater or your brand, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Theater. I really want you to talk more about this, man. Everybody putting console. We control the narrative. Everybody putting console. Control the narrative. Control the narrative. Control the narrative. And it's so wonderful that this phrase is so powerful this morning, because this is just something, it's just synergistic. That this is the very same thing I've been talking about. I say it like this: become our own media. And so we have, brother, and we got plenty of brothers and sisters that are doing it, but it's not always necessarily visible, nor is it something that's really marketed well. We don't necessarily have no main, maybe we do, maybe we don't, main platform where you say, okay, now this is what's going on. So I definitely want to partner with you on that, so that when you do bring stuff like this, we can get it out. We can distribute we can market the thing, and then, people know, okay, here's where I can go for our own, you know what I'm saying? Our own, like, cut all that other stuff off. I mean, you about to do a show on some jitney, there's some African-American history and some, and business, like that's what's up, man. For real, that is what I'm about it. Okay, I'm all about it. But again, even as like you just said, controlling the narrative, or be your own media, taking control of the narrative. But you said also in your branding, in your life, in your community, man. Talk us a little bit more about controlling the narrative.
So there's a part of us that has become so reliant on someone else telling us who we are, telling us where to go, telling us how to acquire things, in a particular way. Pretty much creating a system and then telling us that this is the only way to make it, is if you massage this system. And I'm of the mind that we have the power to create our own systems. We have the power to tell our own stories, and not just in a fictional type, figurative language, but also in our lives. Like, we have the power to decide who we're going to be and how we're going to do things. I think what this whole situation is showing us is that these systems, and these are all the systems that we've been complaining about for years, have no real power, and they're now falling apart. And so government is not something that we can necessarily rely on. We can't put all our eggs in government. I don't know if we can put any eggs in government. The school systems we've been talking about and complaining about for years, and now those things are like, they don't even know what to do. They're putting all their stuff online, and now our kids are kind of, if you have children, I know my son is home. We're having to place more emphasis on homeschooling and teaching, from our perspective. And so I feel like these are all systems that now we're having to look at and like, okay, these are things we complain about anyway. They were insufficient. Now it's up to me to determine what that next course is going to be, what that next step is going to be, how this is going to look for me. But then there still are a lot of people that are taking that victim mentality and they're relying on somebody else to determine how this is going to play out. Like, save me. And I don't think that we have that luxury anymore. I think it's so important. It's so urgent for us to take control. Well, my wife always says that she's like, there's no control, there's only order. And she's right. So how are we going to order our steps? And what order are we going to model our lives after? We have to describe what our narrative is going to be. Yeah, Loki, that's exactly right. That's exactly, and we have the power to do it. See, that's the thing. We have the power to do that. I don't think we know or realize that deeply, like in our hearts, like in our soul. I don't think we believe it to our core, and but we have to in order for it to work. Believe that to our core. We decide what this is going to be for us. So, that's just my take on it, man.
And it kind of goes to the thought that as a man thinketh, so is he. It also helps us to understand. Everybody putting console, I got the power. I got the power, right? Really, making it personal and saying, you know what, I got the power. I have the ability. I can do this, right? And I can literally take my life wherever I want to take it. But here's the deal. In order to really satisfy that statement, you got to know where you want to take your life. You got to know where you want your life to be a year from now, 5 years from now, whatever the case may be. Then we get to another statement that I say all the time, which is simply this. In order for you and I to have the things of our dreams, then we must become the person of our dreams. See, you're not quite ready right now to actually receive the things that you want in your visualization for the future. You have to develop. You have to become better, wiser, stronger, right? More experienced, whatever the case may be. But many times what I find is that people can visualize the things, but they can't see themselves in it. They can't see themselves acquiring it. They don't see themselves doing it. They just see the things. What are your thoughts on that, Dap?
Yeah. That's absolutely right, man. I mean, but it takes. So these are things that have been conditioned out of us, right? These are things that our ancestors have always done, right? These are the lessons that we've learned. But then, somebody else told us, oh, that's just, that's not true, or that's not real, or, subscribe to this instead. And so we've lost our faith in ourselves, essentially. But the other thing I want to emphasize too is because I think sometimes we miss this mark, and that it is about us, but it's also about, I mean, like individually, but it's also about us as a community, right? So we have a collective narrative that needs development as well. I don't think we've spent enough time thinking about. So like, what is our agenda as a community? What do we want to see from ourselves as a community? And so then it becomes bigger than us. And it's been my experience that when you expand outside of yourself, when you make those things bigger than just you, that's when all the pieces start falling into place. That's when you really begin to become that person that you see with all the things that you're working to manifest. So now we're talking about, spiritual principles, universal laws, laws of manifestation. So that's been my experience. So in this time of isolation, it's critical that we expand outside of ourselves, and now we include our community. And this is something that, we were, like Evan said, I saw his business, I I want to support Black business. That's part of my family's, creed. And so we did. And that's community, right? And that's empowering in and of itself, that I don't have to go to certain stores. I can go to Evan and get great customer service and get what I need from from Evan. And that's really taking control of our narrative right now. It's taking that action and then taking that outside of oneself. It's not just about me and what I want. It's about the community and what I want to see from my community. So just want to throw that out there.
Now, Dap, we talked a couple days ago, week ago. I don't know how long ago it was, but you had some homework. Yeah. The people know when they talk to me, I know it gets some type of action step, man. So, tell us about what you got going on. I'm pretty sure you got something to reveal to us, because I know you're a man of your word. So, what we got going on, Dap?
Yeah, man. So, when we talked, Evan challenged me to put a class together, to teach a class on anything, something that I want to teach, because knowledge is power, number one, and knowledge. And for all of you out there that's listening, that have a skill or trade, and Evan has probably, I'm sure he's talked about this. It's knowledge and education has now become a hot commodity. It's something it's easy to sell, and you're giving, right? You're giving what you know, and that can turn into other things. So, but to answer your question, Evan, I still don't know what I'm gonna teach, man. I've been mulling over it all week, and actually, I've allowed myself to get distracted. Now, I won't say distracted, but I had other things like jitney and certain things that I have not decided. Not saying that I'm not gonna do it. I still got, what's today? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I have 3 more days to decide what I'm going to teach. So I will decide today, and I'll put that on out there, and start promoting it. So that's where I'm at, man.
All good, man. Let's catch up on these comments and see what we got to talk about, man. All right, so I decided to control my narrative. That's right, control my narrative, right? True talk from Miss Mangus, right, man? I got the power. That's right, man. I got the power. I have the power to do whatever I desire. True. Like I said, visualize and attack. That's right, man. Visualize and see yourself in it, man. Also support Black. Absolutely. Knowledge is power. And it is more powerful when you actually apply what you know. A lot of y'all know. A lot of y'all got the info. Y'all been constipated on information for a long time, man. It's time to start doing something with what you know. Matter of fact, let me ask that in the comments below. If you didn't acquire any more knowledge after today, but you did something with all the knowledge that you currently have, how much wealthier would you be? How much better would your life be? If you didn't get any more new knowledge, but you just simply said, I'm going to do something with every bit of knowledge that I currently have, how much better would your life be? See, a lot of times we're looking for the new, the next, and although there's really nothing new under the sun, we're looking for the new voice and the new way and all this stuff, man. How many diets have there been? But did you do any of them? Right? What if you just simply did something with the knowledge that you have? If you say, you know what, I'm gonna start using what I got to get what I want. How much better would your life be? How much wealthier would you be? Right? The principles of wealth and the laws of manifestation, that they don't change.
Right.
It's just a matter of actually working it,
right,
doing it, and then you actually get the results out of your life, man. So, Dap, you got Jitney. Anything else you got coming up that you want to let people know about? I mean, obviously, I think that's the big thing, and you're still working on. See, I'm saying to myself that you. Okay, let me just be frank, because you know how I am. You got this mastermind, right? And I'm sure you surround yourself with other masterminds. But I'm getting the notion, with your beautiful mind and a mastermind, you have so many different things going on, and you try to organize them, but I'm sensing a little bit of, dare I say, a little mismanagement of your time.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. That's and I speak truthfully. So that's the challenge. That is the challenge. When you have so many things that you're responsible for, or when I'll just speak for myself. I have a lot of interest. We talk about this whole serial entrepreneur thing. Time management is critical. I'm not always on point, and another thing is when things happen to shake up your program, there's an adjustment period. Now, I'm also the one that would say, be gentle with yourself, be focused and be determined and continue to move forward. But I'm gentle with myself, man. I'm not, look, CeeLo say, I don't force the pen to write, Yeah, I'm not going to force that pen to write, but I will move how I know I should move. So I am working on managing my time better. I am not an expert at that, but I know that that's a weakness of mine. And so I work on it diligently every single day. So I have a calendar, I write my schedule down every single day. Like, I know that there are tasks that I need to get done, and I move forward, man. But I can't let my lack of skill in time management stop me. And so a lot of times we hit a weakness of ours because we all have weaknesses, and we allow that to stop us from moving forward. Forget that, man. I still got to progress. So however it looks, it might be inefficient in the moment, but I'm gonna get that shit done. So.
And let me add this though. You say, okay, well, and this is where village, community, and all that stuff comes into play, because you say, well, hey, here is where I know that I can improve my areas of opportunity for improvement. Now I found people that's what they're good at, and we partner and collaborate that way. So I shore up my weaknesses with other people's strengths, and vice versa, right? And that way I can still be who I am in my creative space and my creative spirit, but I can be, get this, I can be open enough to allow the strength of someone else's to carry me in my weaknesses. And that comes with trust, right? Because everybody can't just talk to you how I'm talking to you. You be good with it. You're like, well, who do you think you talking to like that? You know what I mean? But when you build up trust over time, like, man, no, he really helping me, and it's in love, so I can receive that. And as a community, I think that's where we got to get. Because I tell people all the time, I say, listen, everybody's a 10 in some area. And the way that I've learned to collaborate and do business with just about anybody is because I focus on your 10. I don't give a damn about your 1. I only focus, okay, here's what you're good at. Here's how we can operate and work together. I don't need to focus on your weaknesses, because that's gonna have me focus on things that I don't like about you. No, I'm gonna focus on the stuff that I love about you. And that's what's worked to me. And everywhere I go, I'm able to really work with anybody, because I don't care about what you're not good at. I just kind of focus on what you're good at.
Yeah.
and it works.
Hey, man, I see it like this. I think trust comes with vision. Anybody can challenge me on that. If you have vision, and and there are people who come into your life, and you're in alignment, like this is something that that you've asked for assistance with, and that's the thing, is being honest and open with yourself. So I think it's less of trusting other people and more of trusting yourself and trusting that vision that you've been empowered with, right? So if you have a vision, then it's a lot easier to collaborate with other people and to relinquish some of that control. So it's like I have a vision, and it's bigger than me. So I know it's impossible for me to do this all by myself. I'm just one man. But if I have that vision and it's very clear to me, and I come across someone like that can help me with time management, that can fill that space, then yes, hey, run with it. You know what I'm saying? Take that ball and run with it, because this vision needs to be, it's bigger than me. Like, that vision needs to become manifest. That's the whole reason why it's there, so it can become real and physical, so it can impact more than just me and my life. So it's more than just me wanting a lot of money and some fancy cars. You see what I mean? So through the collaboration process, everyone benefits, everyone involved benefits. And that in itself is, for me, I just speak for myself, is way more satisfying than just walking away with, with more money. I mean, of course, money is great. But impact for me is greater.
Impact. Impact is great. Absolutely, man. Again, guys, you want to follow Dap's word, man. Step into Dap's world. That's right, man. The Renaissance man, the serial entrepreneur, a lot of things going, but Dap's World Studios, I put that link in the down below so you guys can go and click that. Go check out his website that we have right here. If you need help with branding, you need a good storyteller. We'll tell your story and it'll help you craft your story. That story is the thing. It's your business testimony, it's your personal testimony, it's your mission statement, all that stuff, man. It's all in your story. And do some graphic design as well. You can follow him on Instagram at Dap's World Studios, Dap's World Studios. Follow him on Facebook at Dap's World as well. And he shared with you some other things, and hopefully you've gotten something from it as well. Dap, man, here on Financial Friday, the Money and Power Show. You got any last words for the peeps as we begin to close this show out?
Man, I just encourage everyone to just take some time and just be still and get in tune with your power. Get in tune with your power. Know who you are and act on that.
Know who you are. Get in tune with your power. Absolutely. In the comments below, beautiful people, I'd like for you to share something that you learned today or something that inspired you today. We don't do this just to do this. We do this to make a difference, and hopefully we made a difference in your life here today. The Money and Power Show is all about free financial education, all right, for the community. And you guys see we're bringing some all-stars, right, that are making a difference, that are leading the way. And we're just saying, just follow us, right? Just follow us. Simply, my mentor says this, Mr. Warren Buffett, that price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Right now, I was thinking about the price that you paid to be here, which actually didn't cost you anything as far as money is concerned, but it cost you something much greater, which is your time. So whether you've been here for an hour, 30 minutes, or just 10 minutes, I'd like you to consider the cost. And then also answer this, right? What value did you receive? I'm simply asking you to answer this question in the comments below. Was this worth your time, and why? Was this worth your time, and why? Because this is what we do. Now, I know I talk much faster than you type, so while you guys are putting your feedback and letting Dap know how much you appreciate him and all that stuff that he's bringing to our show here today, do want to remind you guys, especially for those that have not made that decision yet, that there is this wonderful, beautiful thing called the Black Billionaires Club. And so over at the Black Billionaires Club, guys, we have a plenty of opportunity for those who want to walk away from the crowd of broke, busted, and disgusted, right? Walk away, right? So we not only is it a book, guys, it's actually a club that we have crafted that I'm the president and founder of as well, and it's only $20 a month. Well, what do you get for that? What type of value do you get when you decide that you want to join a new club? Well, first, I want to tell you that there's an old saying that says, if you're the smartest person in the room, it's time to find a new room. And maybe, just maybe, you've been a smart person that's been very, very frustrated because you're like, where are all the other smart people? Well, you get in a room like this, you're not going to be the smartest person in the room. You might be in some area, but you're going to be fine. You're going to be challenged in other areas so you can level up, as Dap said earlier. Well, there's three things that billionaires do, okay? And that they say they do to be successful. And these three things we focus on in the club. Number one, they read. So all 12 of those billionaires that I wrote about, they all say the way that they got there, the way they developed their mind was through reading. So guess what? We have a book club. Matter of fact, we read Richest Man in Babylon earlier. We'll be reading Black Titan next, right? This is the story of A.G. Gass and the making of a Black American millionaire. Number two, what do? The Black billionaires, right? To be successful. Right? Number two, they build business. As Dap said, the man got 3, 4, 5 businesses he's been working on. They build business, right? Generational wealth is built through business. You transfer inheritance to your children's children through business. You can go to the next generation with your insurance policy, but you build a business, that thing can keep going and keep going and keep going, just as Walmart. It's built through business. So guess what we have? We have business development to help you to take your idea and bring it to reality, or to help you to expand on what you're currently doing. And then number three, what do? The billionaires. They invest. Number one, they invest in themselves. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Number two, they invest in their businesses. Number three, they invest in other businesses. And that's where we get to the point where you learn how to make your money work harder for you than you work for it. Warren Buffett simply says this, that if you never learn If you never learn how to make money while you sleep, you'll always be working for it. If you never learn how to make money while you sleep, you'll always be working for it. Well, maybe we need to take the advice from Rich Dad and stop listening to Poor Dad. Simply go to the website, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. Become a member. Make a $20 a month decision that could change your life forever. Let's catch some of these comments, man. Then we'll get up out of here, man. I see here, man. I got some comments for you. Dad said, man, yes, it's time to start something with what you know. As she said, man, Mrs. Glenda said, man, brand is a very important way to get success with products. Absolutely. Said confidence and impact are necessary for success. Ms. Jennifer said, man, thank you, Evan, for having Dap Paxton on the show today. I appreciate your outlook in life to use our inner power and to control our narrative. Ms. Jacqueline Macon said, man, very informative. Mr. Sentley said, man, absolutely worth my time because I reminded her how important it is to properly manage my time, man. Properly manage our time. Absolutely, man. Well, Dap, man, I want to say thanks so much, brother, for going on the show with us here today for the Money and Power. Absolutely wonderful time catching up. And I learned some new stuff about you I didn't know, so that's great because we talk, but we don't always talk.
Right.
We got a chance to do that here today. Man, for everybody else, guys, I want you to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. It's time to get up, get out, and go get something. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.